twins. We love to watch. And this is our review of Aquaman. Okay, guys. So we are a brand new channel, and we have been having a pretty good run of it so far. We are up to way over 3,000 subscribers, and we cannot thank you guys enough for being so awesome and hitting that subscription notification bell and liking our videos and commenting and being so enthusiastic about our reactions. But now we have reached a point where we've had one of our first sort of setbacks. We did film a reaction to Aquaman, and let me tell you, it was a really good one.
We had a blast.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with Aquaman. Unfortunately, our audio was corrupted, and it just didn't take for whatever reason. There was nothing. We didn't get any audio at all, and it was really, really upsetting because we had a good time. And rather than trying to fake it and film another reaction, we decided to just sit here and talk to you guys about it and tell you what we thought about it and see what you guys thought in the comments below. So here we go.
Yeah, we really liked this. It was really good. It came out about 2 years ago, and it was something that I had been meaning to watch but never really got around to. And to see Jason Momoa really walk in that character's shoes, right after seeing how he was introduced in Justice League proper, which is Zack Snyder's Justice League, was really great to see the continuity and the continuation of that characterization of Arthur, Aquaman. Just really great. The combination of Nicole Kidman and Tamara Morrison playing his parents, which means he's got that Maori heritage, and that Polynesian culture was really brought into his portrayal of Aquaman. I just really think that Jason is a really good presence on screen. He just brings a lot.
Yeah, he's really charming.
Gravitas, a lot of charm. He can do comedy, he can do drama, and he's not bad looking. He's not bad to look at.
Boing!
Really good looking. So yeah, I really enjoyed this more than I thought I would. You know, I thought it was going to be like some explosion of cotton candy, just really overdoing it with everything, but it was beautifully made. It was well directed. It was well performed. Pacing, which we'll talk about in a minute, characterization, acting, performances. You know, we had some corn. There was a little corn, just a little corn. Some of it, some people were a little dry.
A couple of kernels.
but for the most part, overall, I really, really enjoyed this. And you know, if the sort of mid-credit scene is an indication, we'll hopefully be getting a sequel and continue to see Jason portray Aquaman. Yeah, you know, for me as a sort of a newbie to sort of just diving into DC lore and DC characters beyond sort of the initial sort of, the Justice League members that I grew up familiar with, like Batman and Superman, and to a certain extent Wonder Woman, and Robin, and those guys. It was really awesome to see sort of how they decided to handle Aquaman's origin story for the DCEU. I really enjoyed seeing the opening scenes with his mother and father meeting for the first time. Totally gave me Splash vibes. And Nicole Kidman, we've been fucking with Nicole Kidman for a long time.
Okay, we were fucking with Nicole Kidman when she was a sprite young redhead fucking around with Tom Cruise. I've been a Nicole Kidman fan for a long time, and so I really enjoyed seeing her as this badass Atlantean queen, kicking ass with this trident, and meeting this man and fleeing this arranged marriage that she didn't want to be a part of. And I thought it was really cool, the whole thing about her having to return and then them punishing her and her getting lost in this this world within a world, and people just assuming that she died. And I really love the way that Jason Momoa portrayed his sort of anguish and his confliction about his relationship with his mother, and his relationship with the Atlanteans. And I really enjoyed how his relationship with his father was portrayed. His dad standing, I'm a sucker for romance, so his dad standing on the dock, every day waiting for her, and then at the end of the movie she finally came. I love that shit. So I really appreciated seeing that, and I love the way that this tone felt very appropriate for the way that Jason Momoa handles this character and the way this character was set up, but it didn't feel like it doesn't belong. This Aquaman felt like an appropriate tone for this character, and it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and the director James Wan really gave a good balance of tone. And the story was set up really well, and the story beats were really progressive and compelling. Like, they were very interesting and dramatic. The balance of comedy, action, and drama was really well done. There were little nods to what Author had done in Justice League throughout the film, but you don't have to have seen Justice League in order to enjoy this movie. It
Right.
was really a good standalone origin story, and I really, really liked that.
Whatever. Amber Heard, I thought, was really good as Mira, and her whole sort of fish out of water thing. She's like eating roses and shit, and the way that she, sort of got him to finally, decide to take on this responsibility and challenge his half-brother for the kingdom, even though he doesn't want to be king. He doesn't want to be king because he felt the way he felt about what happened to his mother. And I really loved the subtle sort of character beats that they did with Patrick Wilson, and how he didn't want to kill his brother, but at the same time, he don't really know his brother, and all his brother does is remind him of those damn humans who was destroying his ocean and who drew his mother away from him in the first place. So there's a lot of really good conflict, even though the movie is so fun.
Yeah.
And all the fight scenes were really cool. The whole underwater thing, especially when they found Atlanta and he had to fight that giant creature played by Julie Andrews of all people. That was really cool.
Yeah, the character.
And him sort of like, using his I can talk to fish power to sort of, throw her off guard, and at the very least, let him survive long enough to fight for the right to carry this trade. It was really well done.
Just taking it back a little bit, the two main antagonists in the film, which was one, Yahya Abdul-Mateen, who was sort of like the sub-boss, if you will, for this film, Black Manta. And then you have Patrick Wilson, who is the final boss, if you will, in Orm. Patrick Wilson did the damn thing. And I love Patrick Wilson. I'm a huge Patrick Wilson fan. I'm a fan of him when he's in musicals, singing his little heart out. I'm a fan of his when he's in horror films, and I know he's one of James Wan's favorite actors to work with since they were doing the Conjuring series together. And he just really, the man has the range, okay? He has the range, and he just really blew me away in this role. It was very surprising to me because I was like, if I were an actor like him and I got this role, I might be tempted to like ham it up or phone it in. But he just maintained this just really good balance of intensity, and he was able to, chew the scenery with Jason Momoa And Willem Dafoe as Volko was also a really good scene partner, really good in all of his scenes. Willem Dafoe is such a chameleon. He's such a good actor. And he really took this role, which could have been just a throwaway role, and he
Willem Dafoe it.
Yeah, he did such justice to this role. Now,
my boy Yaya. Okay. This might be a little controversial, but I'm just gonna say Yaya he didn't give what he was supposed to be giving. I don't know if he understood the assignment, as the kids today say.
I mean,
it was just a little flat for me. I will point fingers a little bit at the way his character was written.
There's a lot of factors there.
I think that he was very comic booky, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I think that there was for us personally, for me personally, there was just a little too much cheese. There was a little just a
tiny bit of cheese. It's a little bit of corn.
Just a little corn, and it just kind of took me out of it. It took me out of appreciating his character, because when you think about his character's story, you know, Aquaman let his
really dramatic story.
He let his daddy die.
You know, it's a very tense beginning, and it's sort of like the perfect kind of incentive for him to be an antagonist to author Aquaman. But the opening scene was great. It really set him up well. But then when you see him in consequence scenes, it's like he really can't shake the fact that he is a comic book character, and especially when he's given the helmet and the suit to go after Arthur. It just was really very campy. And they even try to give him like an Iron Man kind of like, let me be a scientist and tinker with this, and you know, like retrofit it and make it better and all of that. And that was cute, but it just didn't hit for me personally. So we can see from the mid-credit scene that he's supposed to be being set up to be the main antagonist, or you know, maybe set up to be the main antagonist if there's a sequel. I'm really hoping he'll sort of find his sea legs, as it were, in the role, and you know, after seeing the finished product, really just kind of like relax a little bit and really enjoy playing the role, because you know, as much as I love Yaya, and we know he's going to be in Candyman, which we're really excited to see, and he played Dr. Manhattan in Watchmen.
Yes, I would love to see
really
him
well there. So hopefully, you know, he'll find his way into this role.
I do think that some of the lines that he was given and some of the situations that he was put in, it just pushed things a little bit too far with the camp for me. It took things away from that great balance that James Wan was accomplishing in the movie, except for those scenes. And I mean, I'm sure that it was probably just, you know, him getting used to that role. You know, there was awkwardness a little bit with, you know, some of our favorite MCU characters. Like Thor is like one of the most beloved MCU characters now. And when he first debuted, he had bleached eyebrows, child, and he was like, you know, your mother know you wear a trick. You know what I'm saying?
You have no idea what you're dealing with.
Shakespeare in the Park? Doth mother know you weareth her drapes?
There's plenty of room for Black Man to grow and to become a really good villain. So I'm really excited about that. And I will be watching it.
Overall, though, it was really well cast. Like, everybody in the cast did a really good job with their characterization. And, even Amber Heard.
We saw her in The Stand, and...
Oh, yeah, you know, she was pretty good in The Stand. I thought, well, for what she was given, she was pretty good in The Stand.
Well, we didn't really like The Stand, so...
The Stand was good up until a certain point, and then it just kind of fell flat. But what we saw of Amber Heard's characterization, we liked. And here, you know, she was given the whole... Actually, she was given more of a like a splash, you know, fish out of water, like Little Mermaid, like, oh, I'm gonna eat these flowers. Like, that was a little funny, but then once you got into her as a warrior of her, you know, of her people, and she was helping Arthur, and really, you know, kind of the architect of everything he was doing, what he needed to accomplish. You know, she He was
and
good
Momo
driving.
were the only architects. One of my favorite scenes definitely has to be that fight that Atlanta had with the Atlanteans that came to collect her.
Yeah, that's right.
At
Cole Kidman doing those stunts.
yeah, that was really, really awesome. That's the kind of like fast-paced, kick-ass fighting that we've gotten used to watching so many Marvel movies. So it was really, and Wonder Woman. So it was really awesome to see. Another one of my favorite scenes was definitely when Aquaman and his father were having this heart-to-heart about
At the bar.
Yeah, at the bar.
You want me to have them put that in a sippy cup for you?
How is it that I can breathe underwater, but you can still drink down the table?
That's my superpower.
I really just like the familial connections and the drama and the conflict that comes with it. I really loved when Orm and Vocal were having their tense sort of exchanges when Orm is gradually coming to realize that Vocal, has betrayed him.
Arthur may only be half Atlantean, but he's already twice the king you'll ever meet.
I loved, Vocal training Arthur, as a kid and sort of preparing him to one day challenge for the throne. So those sorts of scenes really got me. My favorite are the battle between Patrick Wilson and Jason Momoa. That was really well done. Even the octopus on the bongo was like, it was just so entertaining and just so good and so tense. It was just really well paced. Yeah. And then when Arthur and Mara get to the trench, oh my God! That's where James Wan, as a horror director, really came out and showed his ass. Like he was really like, "Oh, you guys hired me to do this. This is exactly why you guys hired me." And the trench monsters that were like these piranhas with legs, and they were just like so fast, and there were so many of them. They get through the trench and they get there and they're on this beautiful island and they find that Atlanta is alive and they go through all the emotional beats of that, and then Arthur has to go further into the depths and meet this giant freaking kraken creature, was not really a kraken but the Karathan or whatever, and Julie Andrews is its voice, and put some respect on her name. So good, so good.
No mortal has conversed with me since King Atlan.
And then you get to the ending scene, which you would think would be chaotic, but it was really epic. It was like epic and it wasn't overwhelming. All the different factions and the different sort of creatures that live under the sea with the Atlanteans. And then you have Arthur riding this wave and bringing the Karathan up from the depths, and his mother is with him, and he's got the trident, girl. It was really good. And then the end, when him and Patrick Wilson fight for the very last time on land, or not on land, but like above water.
That trident doesn't change what you are. Half-breed bastard. God make known their will.
That was really good, and it gave me, I know y'all gonna hate me for saying this, but it gave me real Thor, Loki vibes, like brother against brother, the yin and the yang. It was just really, really well done, and it kept us on the edge of our seat, and we're gonna let you see some of our reactions to some of these things, even though there's no sound. But yeah, we really had a really good time.
So our overall verdict is it was a really good film, a really good addition to the DCEU, and hopefully, you know, we don't know what the future of the DC universe with Warner Brothers is. It could be with Disney. Ooh, I know y'all mad about that. We don't know, but if, you know, these creators and producers and executives really want to carry this universe forward, we think Aquaman is a really good example of how well they could do if they keep that formula and grow from there. Like, not, you don't have to do every movie the same, but just take a page from it and sort of see how you can balance those things.
What I would like to see, especially as a new fan, and look, man, I'm sorry, especially as a Marvel fan, but also a new DC fan, I would just like to see some freaking consistency. Is what I would like to see. I would like to see whatever company that you know, happens to get this properties and these characters, that they respect them and respect the vision of the directors and creators that they hire.
And if that means restore the Snyderverse, restore the
Snyderverse.
Snyderverse. We know you guys want us to say it, hashtag it, you know, push it forward. If it means that we can get consistently good, well-paced, you know, well-directed and performed films for these DC characters, because they really deserve it. These characters are good characters and they deserve that.
Yeah, without all this interference from these executives who, frankly, they don't even know who they're making movies for.
And also, I know y'all are like real like shook about the possibility of the DC universe ending up with Disney, but I will say, if it ends up in the hands of Kevin Feige, and I know y'all might not want to hear this, Kevin Feige, he will takes care of his fans, of his IP. He is a geek, a dork, a nerd, just like we are. He's very careful about how he does things. And he listens. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has his own plan, but he also listens. He's respectful and appreciative of the creators that he hands these properties over to. So that will include Zack Snyder.
That also includes criticism. Because he, you know, they've made mistakes. Marvel has made mistakes. You know, he's correcting those things and writing.
Just talked about the casting of Ancient One the other day. You know, just whatever. All we're trying to say is I don't think you guys should worry. I think that the DC universe is I think it would be in good hands if Disney ends up with it and Kevin Feige ends up with it.
So yes, overall verdict is we really like Aquaman. We really want to see the way that this has been handled continuing in the DCEU, and we really hope that wherever these characters land, they will land in a home that respects them and gives them the room and the resources that they need to be successful. Until next time, we are twins. We love to watch, and this was our review of Aquaman.